Let's listen in on what the ANC is saying.
Yes. Well, we're here to...
Happiness. What's your comment on the court proceedings to know how it transpired? How do you feel, Mr. Mabe?
Well, I don't think that courts are really fortes of feelings. I mean, we wanted to understand the nature of the charges that are being preferred against our Secretary General. The SG has said even from the very beginning that he will cooperate fully with the processes. Such was confirmed by the prosecution on behalf of the state, that from the very beginning the Secretary General has been cooperative of the whole process, working with the state, being able to provide whatever information necessary. So for now we understand that the SG remains innocent until proven otherwise.
Former SG's PA is being a state key witness. What's your take on that?
Well, these are matters that are going to be ventilated out in court. I wouldn't think that we would want to really be preemptive on that. I mean, it will be prejudicial to do something like that. We need to respect what is happening out in the courts.
What do you make of the charges, Pule? Were you shocked by?
Well, I'm not a lawyer. The SG has got a legal team, and I'm sure that the legal team would be able to look at those and understand the approach that they need to be taking. What is critical now is that what we have all learned outside is that the SG from the very beginning has been quite cooperative, and this is the message that we need to be sending to our structures out there. I did speak earlier on to the chair and the provincial secretary of the ANC here in the Free State about some scenes that we saw of T-shirts of the president being banned. That is not reflective of the conduct and character of the African National Congress. The provincial leadership has assured us that they will nip that act in the bud and make sure that it does not repeat itself, as it might serve to undermine what needs to be happening here. So those that came to support the Secretary General should do so in a dignified and responsible manner, so that processes inside here are not otherwise pushed on the other side by their own conduct out here.
Pule, have you divorced yourself then from your position since you're here in courts today? Because of course the DSG did say people would come in their individual capacities, but they wouldn't come because they wouldn't be able to divorce themselves from their position. So can this be taken that you're personally siding with the SG?
Well, I wouldn't even want us to go there. The SG is the Secretary General of the ANC, as elected at the 54th National Conference. He remains in that position. So I think we should understand that. So there is nothing else that has been suggested by anyone else that would say that the SG is no longer SG. It's the Secretary General of the ANC. He was elected at the 54th National Conference. He has got an organizational duty to perform as SG. He had appeared here and we have learned that he had cooperated with processes. Our national officials had issued a statement following the meeting that they would have had with the SG, guiding our structures on how they need to really carry themselves as it relates to this issue. So I'm not sure about the issue of divorce and all of that. So,
calls looming for the SG to step aside. What's your stance on that? What can you tell us about it?
I'm not sure where those calls are looming, because if they loom in newsrooms, then they are not looming in the ANC. I think what needs to happen is that members of the media must allow the African National Congress sufficient space to be able to deal and process its own matters. The ANC is not going to be put under pressure either by the media or opposition parties who want to.
The key threshold has been crossed.
Yes.
We've gone from allegation. We've gone from allegation to formally charged. This is a key threshold. So we just need you to give us a sense of what does the ANC do now that this key threshold has been crossed, where he's formally charged. Are you holding a special NEC meeting, for example?
Well, I wouldn't even want to enter on issues of the African National Congress. At the time that the ANC would have had its own meetings and decide to express itself, the ANC will be able to do so. I think what we wanted to confirm was the cooperation. The SG is not guilty. I think we need to just clear that one. The SG's got charged. The SG.
That if someone is formally charged with corruption, they must step aside. This is not something that the media has said. It's something that the ANC at your 54th National Conference came up with. Now, the SG, because he's the Chief Administrative Officer, it's only the ANC NEC that has the power to suspend him. Now, you have to clarify for us then, Pule, will there be a special ANC NEC meeting?
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm sure that once the ANC has reflected on this thing, and if there are issues that the ANC wishes to convey, at that point the ANC will effectively do so. So let's give the ANC that space. You know, the ANC is not here. When the ANC meets and it takes a decision on how it processes matters, it will be able to communicate. I don't think that the ANC should in any way be put under pressure to make big decisions outside courtrooms. You know, it shouldn't really be working like that. When the ANC meets at its own NEC, and the ANC will convene its own meetings, and if there are things that it wants to speak about to the media, the ANC will effectively do so.
Well, earlier on, some supporters were setting a light to the T-shirt of ANC on with President Cyril Ramaphosa's face.
Well, for sure you were on the phone, because we addressed that point. You must have been on the phone.
We wanted to have it on record.
Just a quick question.
Okay. No, it's not going to happen. You can't
have it on record.
once. I'm putting it on record. I realize that you might have been on the phone. I said the chair and the secretary of the province, we have already communicated on that one, and they had already agreed that they will be condemning those actions with the strongest words possible, to make sure that those that come to court in their own individual capacity, even if they were members of the ANC, how they carry and conduct themselves must not undermine the decorum of the movement.
Pule, what's your take on the sides or movements of Nkosi Dikwana saying that?
All right, so there you have it there, Dudu. That update by the ANC's spokesperson, Pule Mabe, at the conclusion of the court processes. Nothing much really coming out by way of pointing us to a way forward, but condemning some of the actions of the people that came in support of Ace Magashule, particularly around the issue of burning ANC T-shirts that have the face of President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying that that conduct will be nipped in the bud.